Hi and welcome back to Valkyrie Flight. I'm your host and GM, Bazag. We have our players here with us today, so if everyone would like to introduce yourself, let's start with the captain.
Hey, I'm Rogue Enterprise, and I play the captain, Dash Kylus.
And what about our executive officer?
I am the executive officer / tactical officer, Commander Strith.
Chief engineer.
Hi, I'm Sir Boulevard, and I play Lieutenant Commander Mazaka.
Chief medical.
I'm Zorbin, and I'm Dr. Mark Jensen.
And finally our helm officer.
I am Goodwin, and I play Lieutenant Kane. I fly the ship. We're all there.
And as always, I'm also playing on behalf, because we don't have a science officer, Lieutenant Commander Iris Rogeson. So, guys, I have a bit of bad news. I was just doing some rolling before we started, and it seems the Valkyrie is blown up. The ship is no more.
Oh.
So apparently there was some kind of problem with the flare that happened, and it just took a while to work it through the system, and boom. So I'm going to actually have to get you to create new characters right on the spot, right as we record right now.
Oh, now. Can we at least be
about
recast with like younger, more attractive versions of our characters?
No, you have to be even older.
Yeah. No, this is not the hip young reboot. This is not the next generation. This is actually, this is just going to be too much bother. Let's just pretend it never happened and get right into episode 6 of Valkyrie Flight.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're not going to the Kelvin timeline.
Lens flares for everybody.
Alright, so just to catch everyone up, the people on the planet have theory about warp core, but they've never actually done any kind of successful warp test. So that is actually going to be scheduled very shortly. But before the test happens, I would just like to check in and see if you guys were doing anything. I know, Captain, you were just going over first contact procedures and developing something for that. Is anyone else wanting to do something prior to the test?
Nope.
I'm good.
No? Alright. Then let's get back into it. So the information you have has pointed to the set location. You notice that the rocket is there. All these final preparations are happening. Iris has located basically the radio chatter of everything, of all the preparations, things going down. There's like a countdown target, the equivalent of T-minus 30, 29, that kind of stuff. But obviously slightly different to what you'd expect to for a launch here on Earth. And the things seem to be going well. The timer counts down, and it's finally time for launch off. So the rocket blasts off, they get lift off, and it launches itself through the air. As it goes on, the stages of the rocket just fall off. The first one in the upper atmosphere as the main booster ends its fuel run, then that falls off, and a secondary booster gets it up into the higher atmosphere, up not quite technically into space, but outside the vast majority of the atmosphere. And as that falls away, you're just left with a remote probe, pretty much a warp core with wheels, essentially, to borrow car analogies. This thing it's currently powered down, but as the last stage falls off, lights and you get energy readings coming from the probe. So as things go, you can I get everyone to do an insight roll? For this one, I'll allow everything but medicine, so you can get to choose whatever. Since everything but medicine with the insight.
Just one dice.
Yeah, how do I know focus?
So it's 2 dice. This is a I will allow him that this is going to be like detecting communications between the probe and the shuttle. I don't think anyone has focuses that will affect that.
Yeah, probably not.
Not really.
I will.
Oh,
Of
Ooh.
course.
Okay.
that's when you when the doctor.
This is why we don't let the doctor on the bridge.
Yeah, exactly.
Go
What am I
back
doing here? I'm
Go
lost.
back to your pot, May. Go.
Okay, so I
Of course,
will.
let's call it that.
I'll get Iris's done as well. And let's see what goes on. Well, you roll. Yeah, so you're able to detect a signal being generated from the probe. It's a direct point to point, like satellite kind of link, but point to point. It's not broadcast. It's very much sort of like a beam. Urbane, I'm just going to take threat for that complication, so I will make things difficult in the future. But you're able to see, you're able to link in, like, you're not able to link in, but you're able to, if you want, you'll be able to like deploy something that would be able to like interject itself into the signal if you want, so you can read what is going on. If you guys want to do that.
Okay, well, I'll like look at my screen and like, I guess I don't understand anything that I'm looking at, and then I'll lean over and who did well? We guess Rogeson was like, "Oh hey, what's going on?"
We've detected communications from the probe down to the planet. If potentially we could intercept and jack in to the signal, if that was something appropriate to do.
Yeah, we can make that happen. Go ahead and do some hacking.
All right, so let me actually I'll get you to do this, Captain. If you could do let's do a reason command check, difficulty 3.
Okay. I actually don't have to put in difficulty anymore. It's good. Should I use it burn up momentum on this? I have to. Or else I won't make 3. Shall
Yeah, we have force decent amount.
Yep.
I'll use a.
Yep. So
I'll use
using a
one.
momentum for an extra die roll.
Yep. I'm doing it. Do I have a focus for this? Maybe not. What am I doing?
Probably not. What you're doing is trying, like, not directly interfacing with the stream, but you're going to try and use your own computer access to try and link in through an alternate way.
Okay,
So
that's probably
I
not what
don't think. Yeah.
All right, I'm doing it. Oh no, I broke it.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Okay. So yeah, you're unable to actually link in to the network and read the information, but you do get with the chatter that Irish has, you do get a general broad overview of the information. Whatever people are talking about, you're gonna get, but you're not gonna get all the diagnostic, all the extra information that the probe itself is directly sending down to the ship. So as you, I'm gonna keep the threat as well, so I'm not going to. They're too focused on the probe at the moment to worry about potential interlopers into their system. So that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, so that you're able to detect a power, like a gradual increase in power. What the warp, the antimatter just, it starts very slowly and gradually ramps up. They're not sure, like they've never done this on such a big scale, so they're not entirely sure everything will work as intended, but they're preparing to. They're doing this so they can see like potential problems that may arise and things happen, so they can they've got time and they can actually see what's happening. So yeah, time goes on, the moments by and the power level increases. Can I get Mzaka to do a listen check? So this will be insight engineering to hear what they're saying about what's happening. So you will get your keen listening 3 dice, and if you want another dice, you can buy it with momentum.
No, I think I'm good with 3.
Yeah, so the difficulty is 2, sorry. Oof.
And
Oh no.
Okay,
Wow.
so you're actually everything. You're not getting everything as you're listening. The terminology they're using is not quite the same terminology that you're used to, and it's taking you a bit too much of a time to just to pass the information that you're getting through that.
Something about hovercrafts and eels.
So yeah, they're starting, however, to be some concern that there is something going wrong with one of the conduits on the system. One of the electromagnetic containment is failing. So they're not entirely exactly sure how they should react. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the dice for them, and I'm going to GM roll it so that you guys don't actually know how they rolled. So the dice is coming out, and okay, so what they do is one of the guys decides stops, like dials back the throughput of the antimatter reaction, and dials that back pretty drastically, just to keep the situation safe. They've got there's not enough power in there. The sensor's able to pick that up, but there's not enough power for actually a warp bubble to be generated. But they're just so tantalizingly close. So what do you guys want to do? Are you guys just going to be watching or what?
Well, I don't know. Do I see this? I guess I'm going to mention that. I mean, any interference we do now still technically violates the Prime Directive.
I'm just monitoring the probe, sir.
All right.
I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Hey, you broke the computer, right? Actually, so did I, so I don't know what's happening either.
And I've gone deaf, so, words all kinds of
No, you're not deaf. You're hearing everything, but you're what they're saying is not how you'd say it. It's not like the standard.
It was a joke.
Okay. I take things too literally sometimes. So, alright, so I'll do another roll for them.
Hang on. So I see this happening, and I look at Zaka, and I say, well, we can't do anything to actually help their ship, but is there any kind of subspace field manipulation we can do to allow them to achieve a bubble with less power without directly influencing their ship?
Sure, and what was I added? Would you like me to find a way for them to just rain candy from the sky?
That would be excellent.
So
you would
is
know
there a
that
way?
Warp power needs energy. The only way for you to assist with the formation of a warp bubble would be to provide extra energy to the probe somehow.
The only way to do that would be to extend our warp bubble around, and I'm pretty sure that would be a pretty clear violation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just thinking,
yeah.
like, instead of fixing the boat, like, make the seas calmer, kind of use that analogy. Like, can we manipulate subspace so it takes less power to form a warp bubble? Something
Ew.
like my babble?
We are not Q.
Just asking.
Yeah, it would be pretty difficult to do that.
What's the worst that could
This
happen?
And you might generate a subspace rift and completely destroy the capability of warp travel in this system. So
Yeah, in considering our luck so far, we've already had 3 crit failures. Let's not push it.
so
Yeah, I'm down.
yeah, that is a risk with what you're planning. But I'm doing a roll for them, and they seem to be onto this. They seem to have identified what's going wrong with the thing. They've sent up new instructions. The main design hasn't, but just the way the probe strengthens the magnetic containment has changed, and they're powering it up for a second time. This time, the changes actually seem to be working. It's the warp bubble is the power's getting up there. The warp bubble hasn't quite generated yet, but it's like you can see on the sensors a clear formation, like trying. It's almost there. It's right on the edge, and in a moment, the warp field is generated, and the probe disappears into warp.
All right.
I'll say with that roll, it's actually going at warp 1.2, just slightly above the minimum warp speed. But the test was successful. They've managed to get the probe out there. They're not planning. They're trying to get onto it, but at warp they weren't properly prepared to actually communicate while it's at warp, and with such a distance away, it would take just too long for a signal to reach out there. So they've pretty much lost the probe, lost the warp, lost the settings, but they And
did it.
they've lost the probe, but they've demonstrated that they actually do have the technology for warp travel.
Captain, believe the Prime Directive no longer supplies, and they don't have data on their warp probe. Permission to send it to them.
Hang on. I think we better initiate first contact first before we start sending in data from mysterious sources.
Okay, so you can hear as the probe success, like shouts of joy and exuberance through the communication channel that you've got. They're celebrating pretty hard. At the
Are they a
moment,
party
so-
race?
According to the plant life, yes.
Excellent.
I mean, the generally, I wouldn't say party, but they would definitely be in a partying mood at this moment. Let's just say that.
Is according to my research on first, like what would be good for first contact? Is this like a good time to, like, beam down into their main government building?
They're from your research says like a public like approach, like that everyone knows you're there, that you're approaching and making like kind of an official contact in like out in the open. That's what your research says. As far as whether now would be a good time, it can't hurt. I mean, you don't really have any specific information on this. It would basically just be conjecture if now was any better or worse than any other time.
Okay. All right. Well, now is as good of a time as any. So, I asked for the away team, the people that are going to come with me, to make first contact.
Okay.
Who's coming with me again? I think it was Jansen and someone else.
Strith, wasn't it?
Strith wasn't here last time, but he can certainly come.
Or do you think maybe I should stay up since we or who would take command if both of us are gone?
That's a good point.
We're senior officers. We can all command the ship.
So yeah, it would be Sir Boulevard's character.
Okay. Well, thematically, we could leave Strith so he can take command because he has command stuff. So why don't I take?
It's just another option is you could always land a shuttle as well if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, we should probably make a public appearance too, not just beam down. So maybe a shuttle would be better. Guess what, pilot? Coming with us.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we can do some loop-de-loops. All right, so Dr. Jansen and Lieutenant Tralnir, please join me in the shuttle bay. We'll be taking the shuttle bay. The shuttle.
I'll go grab a bottle of my finest whiskey.
Why do you assume they're all drinkers?
Well, I'll drink it myself.
Well, at least it at worst it's just like a gift of like a diplomatic nod.
Yeah.
At worst. So let's actually get Tralnir, if you could do a difficulty 2 control con check for me.
Don't screw this up. We come in peace. Oh, we just crashed into your Capitol building.
So from your research, you would know where the government offices are, where you would go to make some kind of showy entrance if you wanted to do that. So you know where to go. It's just a matter of how spectacularly you get there, and you get there pretty spectacularly. You got,
Yeah, all right.
So what happens is while in space, there isn't, much. It's pretty direct, but when you get into the atmosphere, the shuttle glows. The shields glow red from entering, and you do sort of do like a fancy flyby of the area, like circling around the capital, and then landing. And by the time you've landed, there's already like a substantial group of about 1,000 people already gathered to see what's happened.
Nice. Are we landing?
Yeah. So you've landed. You haven't opened the doors yet, but you successfully landed, and you're ready to leave and see what happens next.
All right. I turn to Doc and Tralnir. I say, accompany me out there, but let me do some of the talking. I prepared a little bit for this, and I open the door.
Okay, so you I take it you've got the universal translator information loaded up onto your pad, so it can translate everything. You've got for both the reading and for speaking. So you land and two native inhabitants come from the building and they say hello. They're dressed. One of them they're both pretty much dressed fairly like they're in a uniform of some kind. Nothing seems to be particularly different. But if you'd want to do an insight security or maybe an insight command check, I can tell you more about them.
Sure, man.
And while they're rolling that, I would like to keep a transporter lock on the away team, just in case they get shot.
All right, yep.
Thanks.
I'm gonna call this diplomacy focus. Does that work for you guys?
This is not so much diplomacy.
No?
This is just getting an idea of like what their role might be, like
Okay.
why they've come to see you. But yeah, that is definitely the two that you need. They're basically what you're able to tell, they're security, but they're not acting any kind of hostile to you. They're basically there to escort you to the people in charge. And
Are they like lizard cops?
yeah, they're lizard cops pretty much.
Sweet.
But like more suity kind of. I mean, it's not suits, but it's definitely like formal wear that they're wearing. One says, "Hello, can you understand us?"
I say, yes. If you would please take me to your leaders. Hashtag diplomacy. Hashtag. Do I need to roll for that?
No, they're expecting. From your previous role, that's their job to bring you to their leaders, so they're expecting. That's perfectly fine with them. So great, that is a problem that we don't have to worry about. If you would come with us, the council is waiting.
Okay. I turn to Lieutenant Tralnir and say, can you lock up the shuttle? We don't want anyone stealing any of our tech.
You got it.
Okay, so he presses the remote beeper, the lights flash,
Chip, chip. Beep, beep.
and the landing, not the pad, but the ramp locks comes back up, and the shuttle is closed and locked. There are
Right.
some further guards come around, and just once you're on the way, you can see them just sort of position around, position like just 4 guards around the edge of the shuttle. But you'll let in. It's I'm going to say you're about a 200-meter walk away from the start of the building. There are cameras, like sort of helicopters and stuff around that have been buzzing, that have started to buzz around just as you land. You're basically you're going to be planet famous as the first aliens on there. There is like a lot of data, information, like video being recorded about you being there.
Make sure to smile. Smile for the camera.
Do a command presence check for me.
No.
42.
Rolling has not been going great today.
I mean, well.
Do I have a focus for this one or no?
I'm gonna allow this being a focus.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter. Like you smile and some people smile back, but you're not making a particularly great impression. You're not being a negative impression by any means, but you're not. It's. Yeah, you're not being particularly. People aren't being in awe of you pretty much at the moment.
Okay.
As much
That's
as
all
you might like or think they should. But your guards escort you into the building. There are other guards that just open the doors for you to arrive. You're led through a network of passages and up through a flight of stairs up to the second level. This building's a 2-level building. It's pretty ornate on the structure. It's something that wouldn't feel out of place in like Washington or it's a larger grand structure that would fit a government building such as this, and you're led into the inside of the building is pretty much wood panelled. There is not particularly ornate inside. Once you get past the entryway, I mean, there's in the beginning foyer, there's entryway. There's like marble and kind of stuff. It's polished to a perfect sheen. That's all. That's you'd expect that to be like constantly kept up on and clean people to do that. And basically you're led into a carpeted area up on the second floor above. We call the second floor, you would call the first floor in the US. And through a single pair of double doors, the only double doors that you've seen on this second level, you went a large office, a single major desk, but there are let's say two additional people on each side. There's these guys are like they don't they're formal, but in a different way to what the security have. And like so there's 5 people. The one in the center is actually behind the desk, and he says, I should have drawn a map for this, but I didn't. And he says, welcome. I need to. This is going to be difficult to say, but Chancellor Fultyr, THL''Tyr. That's how it's spelled. You actually see a little nameplate on his desk, and you might say that I'm the leader of these people. These are my council, my advisors who assist me in the duties of leadership. And he introduces you to each one. I'm not going to say their names because that'll just I won't be able to say them properly. But they're all, the way they speak is more guttural, which you would have really known. It's not a phrase that would be natural to humans to speak, for example. But because you've got your universal translator, you actually don't have to worry about speaking with them. So they made the introductions, and he asked, and you are prompting for you to introduce yourself and the team.
I say, well, greetings. My name is Commander Dosh Kylas of the United Federation of Planets, and we are here to make peaceful first contact with your race. Let me introduce my officers. This is Dr. Mark Jansen, my Chief Medical Officer, and Lieutenant Kane Trollner, my helmsman. I gesture to each of them.
Yep. Welcome. They nod at each of you and say welcome, like 3 times, and nod each time as they greet. I take it you've seen our successful test, our warp, or not warp. They wouldn't. It's translated for you to warp, but they use the actual words are space-time field. But the universe translates to warp because that's what it is.
Okay, and I say, well, yes, in fact, is that test that has allowed us to make contact with you. But I think that whether you have faster than light travel is slightly beside the point right now. Is I'm sure you know your sun is becoming unstable, and we are here to assist with your efforts to contain the situation.
Yes, and we have presumed as much. I take it you were responsible for the gravitational anomaly that altered the course of the solar flare?
I'm afraid that yes, that was us.
And were you also responsible for a network outage with one of our recipe and cooking websites?
I'm afraid that yes, that was due to us as well.
What purpose did what happened that you would engage in our network in this way?
Before your successful warp flight, we were barred by our laws to interfere with your culture or make formal contact. So we were performing reconnaissance to see how much about your culture we could learn.
And what have you learned?
We've learned that we can make unfortunate mistakes while in your information exchange system. But I will say that
he laughed slightly at that, by the way.
Okay, good. At least I have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
But we have learned what we could about your society, and please allow me to say that your contact with the Federation that I represent will assist in all 3 main pillars of your society. Your responsibility to society will be able to help you integrate into the greater galactic community. Even family will be able to exchange our values with yours, and you'll be able to learn about you, and even your responsibility to yourselves will be able to learn what values you all use to build your own identities, and you can learn about us.
He just remains silent for a moment and looks at each and then everyone of you. He's going to do an insight check, but
I want to do a mind read too and see if I can get anything from him.
Okay, so yes, so he is wary, but he from his check from you, but you're saying the right things, you're interacting, you're being honest, you're owning up to your mistakes and presenting. It's clear that he respects that you've taken your time to understand them and their society. He actually starts to believe you that you're there to help. And to save, to assist in the situation. So, do you have any immediate plans that would assist in our relocation to a safer world?
A relocation. Unfortunately, our ship doesn't have the capacity for something like that. But I believe that we might be able to do something in the short term to at least delay the plight of your star, for the at least in the short term, to give us a chance to put together a larger rescue effort.
So there is a way for you to delay the
exactly, and I would be happy to put your engineers in contact with my chief engineer on board my ship to discuss details in case your research has done anything that would assist us in this work.
He nods and you said your Federation, was it, would assist. They would. There would be enough time for your vessel and other vessels to collect all 152,982,605 of us.
We haven't really committed those kinds of resources, have we? We didn't talk to Starfleet about that. Okay, I will say, I'm not sure if we have the resources to commit on that level of a scale, but I assure you that we have our best technical and scientific minds available to do what we can to delay or, otherwise postpone the star's nova. Give him a little juke.
He just quietly looks at you. He's pondering about your situation, about your one ship. There are many more ships like yours out there, are there?
There are some, but most are engaged in duties throughout the galaxy.
And how
Quadrant.
many and how long do you think you will be able to delay? Our scientists believe around 9 months until the star can no longer sustain itself.
What did we say before? If we
So
were
it
able
was
to
10 years according to normal.
Okay. So I'd say we can push that to 10 of our years, whatever that translates to the local years.
Yeah, well, I'm going to assume the universal translator will deal with that.
Okay.
The
That works.
Just because it's not worth it otherwise. But and you did roll really well on that, so that's part of that as well. All right, so so he nods and thank you. That will should give us plenty of time to at least, if your Federation cannot provide additional ships, that we would be able to construct our own. I think that will be cause that we be able to continue on as a society, as a world. We do have other needs. We will need to work out where we need to go. Our senses, frankly, we haven't been out there. We have ideas of potentially habitable systems that may contain potentially habitable planets, but we would just be throwing he says something that's basically darts at a dartboard. It's not the same, but it's their equivalent, and leave much of our choosing to chance. Would you be able to assist in this task as well?
I believe so. Our ship does have an advanced sensor suite that we can use to try and locate a suitable planet for you in the local space.
Good. I will contact the engineering team, and we will be engaging for how can we contact you? Is there a system that you use that will be able to understand to contact you, or is there? Can you leave something?
I will need to. Maybe I will have my chief engineer see if he can rig some kind of interface with your technology, so that you can communicate with us over long distances.
All right. Thank you for your openness, your frankness, and for coming in our time of need.
Absolutely.
If there is anything that we can do to assist in making this smoother, then you know how to contact us.
Very well, thank you. I want to ask more, but I think this is enough for for the first contact.
All right. Before we leave, I'm gonna offer you some whiskey from one of our planets.
A diplomatic offering. What is this whiskey?
It's an alcoholic drink. I don't know if you guys have that or not.
We have we have some alcoholic beverages. We do not broadly engage with that. So we prefer other more fruitful drinks, but in times of these and in times where we need to celebrate, then yes, I think this is a rather appropriate gift. Thank you.
I smile.
I smile too.
Oh boy. Okay.
Time to party.
Let me actually. Can I mind read and see if it's like appropriate to like join in there? I don't want to actually ask him because I feel it's a little inappropriate, but maybe just see if it's like, celebrate with them.
Okay.
For their first one flight.
Yeah. There is definitely a celebratory thing. Like he wants to spend time to celebrate, but you still get an idea that there is still so much that needs to be done. They've got their warp flight, but they still need to build a ship. Still need to fill it with people, make it safe for flight. Fill it with all this stuff that you need in a ship, as well as all the other stuff that is needed. That he will just in his own small time, he would prefer to. He would preferably celebrate not like on his own, on his personal time, rather than shirk his duty in a way and spend his time in office during work time, doing that kind of stuff.
Sure. Okay. I guess we'll head back to the ship.
Yep. The Chancellor nods, and the security guards that escorted you there come and escort you back. The full guards are there. They've kept basically they're there for crowd control. They've kept you back, and once you approach, they shoot people back further. There's seemingly a lot of interest that the crowd around is. If you can even believe it, there's more people than there were before. There's about tens of thousands of people there. Just like not in the immediate vicinity, but like there's a lot of people there. And you unbeep the shuttle, and you're able to get aboard and fly, take off and fly back to the Valkyrie.
All right.
Landing back in the shuttle bay, you're free to go and talk to whoever or whatever you want. What's next for you guys?
Well, once you get back on board, I call Mzaka. So, Kailos to Commander Mzaka.
Go ahead, Commander.
Commander, I'd like you to rig some kind of communication setup with the alien planet so they have a way to contact us or the Federation using their technology. Can you set that up?
Yes, sir. May I make a recommendation, sir?
Of course.
You may want to contact Starfleet about this. You did just initiate first contact protocols, but I will get on this right away.
Understood.
Actually, just as the words are spoken, there's a comm. You receive a priority 1 communication from Admiral Coburn.
Oh boy. Guess I'll take that. Take that in my ready room. Put him on hold.
Yes, sir. Admiral, please hold.
Can't just take calls from admirals like when I'm walking through the ship.
And we're walking.
Okay, so you head to your ready room. When you're ready, you enable the call, and there's Admiral Herbert. He says, "Unfortunately, Commander, the Klingons weren't quite as happy. Aren't quite happy to engage with your request. They will not be able to supply cloaking technology for that many probes. I'm sorry."
Oh, that's all right, because it so happens that this race has just developed warp technology, so I don't think we'll need those cloaks after all, sir.
Just now they've developed warp technology.
Yes, I realize it's a little bit of a coincidence, but a happy one to be sure.
Well, fair enough. Send me all the information you have, your sensor logs, your your reports, your on the meeting. Have you engaged first contact?
Yes, sir. Just now. I'll be happy to send you a report as soon as possible on that.
All right, send me all the information you have on and all your interactions, and we will definitely continue to see what we can do, Captain.
Excellent, sir.
If that's all, Captain.
That's it. Guileless out.
And the screen just fades back
Okay.
to its Federation logo.
Okay. And I walk back out onto the bridge, and I say, Commander Rogeson, I just promised these people that I could find them a planet to live on. Please help me keep that promise.
Okay, engaging planetary sensors. All right. So this will be data, and I will. This will be a difficulty 3 check for Iris. She will have a focus, and it will be. I'm going to say reason science. Does she want to use a momentum? I think she
I
wants
guess so.
to use a momentum. Hang on, let me just check her. Actually, I'm going to tap her value knowledge is practical and use that to generate a auto crit.
Hey,
So
alright.
she won't use a momentum. Oof.
Oh my goodness.
Uh,
There are all kinds of bad rolls today.
Oh yeah.
Dang.
Alright, so so you're actually able to successfully scan and identify a planet that is somewhat close. It's going to be further out that you're going to enjoy, and there is like this. You've detected this huge asteroid belt around the planet, so it may be dangerous to send shuttles in, and there may be other complications there once you get there. But the planet itself is otherwise very similar to this one in atmosphere, in size, in even somewhat in just in the weather. So apart from that, it looks like the perfect spot for the inhabitants of this one. But by the way, they call themselves Saur, S-A-U-R-E.
Okay.
They call them and the planet that.
Okay. Please route that information to the planetary government when you have it.
Once Commander Mzaka has established an interface between our two systems, I will definitely do that, sir.
Of which putting together chords and stuff in engineering.
Rain candy.
All
Hold
right.
you to that, Commander.
So, there is their network. So, with the systems you worked out their encryption technology. So, if you want to, you can easily basically fake a encrypted connection using their own technology to link out. All you need to do is just to basically find some way to send a link, like point them to the right place to establish a communication. That's so if you want.
I mean, this is a starship. I mean, we can generate EM radiation. I can literally just be like, I've set up our communication system for radio, and I'll call them.
Yeah, well, if you want to do that as well, then that's possible as well. But either way, you still need to get them the details. So
We need them to call us because radio doesn't go that fast, right? We need them to be able to,
Right, that's going to require us
Well,
naming them.
yeah, I mean, it'll like for Earth, it takes about a second for latency for things to go up to the satellite and back. So it would be around there, that kind of lag time. So it's not going to be too bad if you just rely on traditional radio methods, which with the way you're connecting up into the network, that's about what you're using anyway to link in with that network.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to end up doing.
Alright, so it's going to be pretty easy, just going to be a difficulty 1 reason engineering, and the Valkyrie can assist.
Okay.
This will be with comms.
I don't
I'm going to
have
say
health
security
life.
for the Valkyrie.
And Mazaka shocks himself. And
It continues. Bad rolls. At least we can get a complication, like break our comm relay or something.
Okay, so what did you roll? Nothing.
I
Alright.
rolled nothing.
So, as easy as it sounds, you're just not. There's just something that just keeps going wrong with trying to set things up. When you try to solve one bug, another bug pops up, and it's just going around in circles. You're not able to actually get anything done.
I get halfway through that and I just turn to Lieutenant Commander Charis, my assistant chief, and I go, "Just get me a portable subspace communication unit, and I give up."
All right, so
Did you try fresh batteries?
The batteries explode.
so yeah,
matter.
there is what I'm going to say is you're able to replicate your assistant. They will successfully replicate an old radio from basically the 20th century that you're able.
No. I asked them to just get a full-blown subspace radio.
Oh, okay, yep. Well, then there are units available, so he's able to bring that to you.
And I grab one and I'm gonna modify it so that it can have a hook into standard radio, so they can just plug in their stuff.
Ooh, that's good.
All right, let's do another difficulty 1 check. Let's see if he stuffed this or not.
Still reason.
This is the worst.
Still reason engineering, yes.
And then
Oh,
my
maybe control. Actually, I'm going to set control because it's precise settings. So I'm going to allow you to use control.
And then can I use either my computers or ship design and innovation focuses on this?
No, I'm not.
Designing.
No, I'm not
Okay.
going to allow that, unfortunately.
Okay. That I'm good at.
Okay, you're able to.
Okay.
You get one momentum back, and you're able to make the modifications. It's a radio signal, but it's just you're able to add a module by replicating the stuff you need to allow for AM and FM, but you're using basically the same
Yeah, I mean,
same
it's just
frequency as you are to hook into their network and
well, it's supposed to be a module so that it will convert their radio waves into subspace transmission, so they can call us, or when we leave, they can call the Federation.
and yeah, so you're able to link those together and you set everything up for the community, so they're able to call you once they get the frequency and stuff set.
Lieutenant Commander Mazaka, to Commander Kylus.
Kyle's here.
Want to let you know that initial attempts to create a compatible communication method did not work out so well, so I've modified one of our portable subspace communication relays for them to use. That way they'll be able to not just contact us, but when we leave, they'll be able to contact Starbase Narendra.
Oh, excellent work. Commander Roxon, please transmit the data on the planet.
So she wants to know how, like, where do you want, like, you want to send it through the computer network? Do we want to just broadcast a radio signal? How do you want to?
Let's test the new communication apparatus.
All right. So if you want to do that, you can. You're aware of the number of frequencies that are used. Just by monitoring the frequencies available being used on the planet, and
Mazaka has set up a specific frequency to be used with this unit up to Roxon and the rest of the stations on the bridge.
Nice.
All right, so she's able to engage combat, and let me do a check for her. What check should I do? This. Some reason. Okay. Ones were being set as 7s, which is stuff some things up. But in terms of the attributes, but I'm going to say she control command. That's going to be the best option, I think, for communicating. This will be a difficulty 2. And she's actually going to use a momentum, if that's fine with you guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
She won't have a focus. Okay, yes, she is able to establish communications and link. Basically, just communicate the necessary settings for you to for the planet to contact the ship. You hear the subspace, the mobile subspace unit come to life, and hello, is this thing on?
Who was saying that?
They haven't heard it. It is not the Chancellor. It is someone else.
This is Commander Kylus on board the Federation starship Valkyrie. To whom am I speaking?
He introduces himself as the Chancellor's assistant, making sure that he was just wanted to make sure that everything was working before he got his boss. So he says, "Thank you. I'll patch him through now." And Commander says, the Chancellor says, "Well, Captain, it seems that..." Oh, Commander. You introduced yourself as Commander, didn't you?
I did. I guess I did.
Yes. So, Commander, it seems that this communication channel is operating well. Thank you.
Yes, and we've actually like to test the bandwidth by sending you some star chart data for a potential colony world for your race.
Oh, already? Wow. We'll send that through, and I'll make sure it goes to our astronomers.
All right, and I give Brugson the signal.
And
transmit.
And she starts sending that data. It takes. There is a lot of information packed in here about the solar system, each of the planets, the planet, that how its weather functions, how, like, the atmosphere, its like the continents that are on it. There's all that kind of stuff, even from this range, as well as like more navigational information about where the system is, where the planet is at the time, and how the system functions, and how just the general relative movement of the system in relation to where we are now. So all that there is a lot of information going down through that, but it's going to take some time for them to actually receive it. Well,
Sure.
the chances there's certainly a lot of information coming down here. You are quite thorough, Commander.
We hope this information can be useful to you.
I'm sure I have no idea what any of it means, but I'm sure it will.
Yes, give it to your top men.
Indeed, and women, of course.
Well, of course.
Ooh.
Damn, they have gender equality.
Better than our captain, it seems.
It's okay. We have all guys. I guess rogues, and we have female NPCs. I guess.
Which is quite the irony for a ship named Valkyrie, but yes, let's move on. So, what now? You haven't sent. You've still got reports and information to send for the Admiral. Is there anything else you guys want to do?
Send down the communication device and show them how to use it.
Is it a satellite or is it like a device that they use?
It's a like a device the size of like a table. Like it's got hookups and stuff that you can plug it in.
Ooh. Yeah, you better go train them on how to do that.
Yeah, I'm going to.
All right, so you being down with the device, you contact them and tell them first that you've got a device that'll help them not only communicate with Starfleet, with your ship, but with the Federation Starfleet as well, and you've and you wish to educate someone to the appropriate people, not just someone, but a number of people, how to use it. Yeah. And they organise. Takes a bit of time, but they call in some of their own communication specialists, and they reach you and tell you they're ready. So you've been down. They tell you to arrive at the to being down. They tell you to come down to the. They don't know you can beam just yet. And
Well, I'm gonna have to materialize it. This thing is heavy.
yeah. So you're beaming down, are you, or are you going to take the shuttle?
Yeah, I'm beaming down. They may as well see it. I mean, we made first contact.
All right. So
they're scientists, right?
All right. So do you want to warn them before, or do you just want to beam down?
When I get into the transporter room, like, I'm opening a channel to them, Captain. I don't want them to be surprised.
Okay, well, yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So you communicate that you're going to essentially materialize in the middle of the group, and
oh no, I'm not going to tell them that. I have this planned out. So I actually set the coordinates for myself. Go get these perfect this time. I turned to the chief, and then I used the buttons to hail. He goes, "This is Lieutenant Commander Mazaka, the chief engineer of the Valkyrie. Could all of your staffs please step away from the northwest corner of the room? I would say about a 15-foot radius, please. Thank you."
So you want them out of that room?
No, I want them to just like move off to the side.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So they follow your instructions, and they're around the other side. They're following. The Valkyrie sensors can tell that pretty easily that the life signs there are backed away against the walls and stuff of the room.
Yep. And I go, energize, Chief.
So yeah, you materialize, dematerialize, and then materialize to this room. For a moment, everyone has a pretty much stunned look. Before actually, I'm gonna do a quick roll, see what their next reaction will be. Okay, so they're pretty impressed. They're rather impressed by your actions. Getting a natural one, they seem to take it in their stride. They're pretty much anywhere aware that aliens are going to have strange technology. So they just pretty much accept it and start to move on. So you start engaging with the people, you introduce the device, and can I get you to do a presence engineering check? Difficulty 2.
Absolutely. Okay.
So this is the check, so how well you train them. And you train them well enough. You communicate, you're able to show them as well as just give them the theory. Well, not so much theory, but yeah, you're able to give as much as an overview as can. People who know some stuff about subspace, but nowhere near enough to actually create something like this themselves. You're able to put everything together and
technical manual.
Yeah, technical manual, and each one of them is able to actually do a test, successfully communicate with the Valkyrie.
And I also make a point of, just to let you know, when we leave, we do have a starbase in the area, and this is how you will contact them.
Beep boop.
Yep.
All right, so they basically they've got whatever documentation you provide, as well as a couple of pages. Each one has a couple of pages of their own notes that they've made, and they all make the note of the specific settings that they need to contact the starbase.
I cheerfully talk with some of them for a while, and then I return to my ship after a time.
Alright, can I get you to do a presence? I'm just trying to work out. These are going to be engineering, so I'll give you another presence engineering roll.
Difficulty?
This one will just be 1.
Don't get a complication. Oh,
I didn't get anything.
Wow, got dangerously close to another complication.
Oh!
Very
Oh.
dangerous.
What is going on today? Jeez.
Okay, so while it's another symptom of the different jargon that you guys have. You're able to describe this particular specific thing, but you're not able to. You try small talk and other stuff, but it just doesn't quite work as well as you'd hope. To develop some kind of friendship or relationship between you and these guys. They've got their knowledge, but it just doesn't quite work.
They're too casual. Masaka's indications are just too formal. It just isn't gonna work.
Alright, so I take it you're gonna beam back?
Mm-hmm.
And with a flash, you're back on the ship. There's going to be no difficulty with the. Normally, I would have you do rolls, but because the planet has those buoys around, that protect against the Yetis. That's actually removing the increasing difficulty from doing all this stuff as well. So you're able to you get back on the Valkyrie with no problem.
Terrible small talkers, but good engineers. But
Have we done everything? Do we need to do anything more to prolong the star's life while we're here?
As far as prolonging the star's life, you've got one probe. You will need like 3,000. Like a lot.
Have we talked? I didn't ask Starfleet for those guys. I just asked them for cloaking devices.
yeah,
But I mean, now that technically you might still be technically disobeying orders because he hasn't revoked them officially, but the issue was first with the Prime Directive issue. So
Oh yeah, I already told them that the Prime Directive was no longer a problem, right?
yeah, so I mean, you would think personally that there wouldn't be any problem in completing that task now that they're warp capable.
but
Yeah.
3,000.
How long would that take us to do?
So let's say it's gonna take 10 minutes per probe. That's to create it and to set it up.
Oh. Reminder that we have an industrial replicator in
Yeah,
the
so
Lander Bay.
so you're able. So it's not a problem creating these. It's just going to be taking time to do so. So what I'm going to do.
Math, 10 minutes times 3,000 probes, or 2,999 probes.
Actually, I'm gonna.
It's almost 21 days to replicate that many probes.
Yeah.
Non-stop.
So it's going to be like. This is not a short endeavor.
Can I?
So
can I contact Starfleet to see if we're needed somewhere else? If not, we can do it.
Before you do that, Mazaka's actually going to make the recommendation. After this is going to take 21 days for us to do this alone. May I recommend that we contact Starfleet Command and send out a Starfleet Corps engineer ship? At the very least, those ships are designed to replicate things on a massive level, and they could probably do it in about a week.
And they could design, make them en route while en route.
Yeah, that's right.
At the very least, while we are here, we can probably set up the core modules. You know, the regulating probes that interlink with the others.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again,
so-
I'll,
Yep. So you're able to do that. Do you want to contact Admiral Herbert, or do you want to have?
is there someone else that's better?
Well, not really. The Narendra the Shackleton Expanse is pretty far out.
Okay.
So, I mean, it would take 21 days just for like ships that are not in the area just to get in.
Okay.
So
I'll call him.
Yeah.
All right, I go into my red room and call the admiral. Or should I send a text message? Would that be easier? Should I text him? Or call him?
Don't text the Admiral, it's bad form.
Okay, I'll call him. It's fine.
All right.
Beep boop. Set up a channel.
And so you're able to get onto the Admiral pretty easily. And he agrees. He agrees that perhaps there are other vessels that could help. You don't have anything specifically on now, but he does assign a number of the Thunderchild and Bellerophon USS. He even contacts Mupui and see if they will help as well. but their systems aren't really. They don't really have as much. They're a bird of prey. They're more focused to for other areas rather than manufacturing and fabrication. So
Like blowing things out of the sky.
yeah, things like that. So the other ships are able to arrive in a day, and start and have if you send the probe information to the general, to the admiral, will pass those on, and they'll be able to already start production as they arrive.
Okay. So has he said that we should stay and assist as well?
He is. He doesn't have anything more for you to do at the moment. So he is fine with you. He hasn't specifically ordered you to, but he leaves that at your discretion.
Okay. So I close the channel and back out onto the bridge. And I say, yep.
As far as he does remind you that he's waiting on those reports and sensor logs and all that stuff that you have previously promised him. But
I assure him that I'll send it. Top men working.
Yes, and once again, the screen fades and it's back to the Federation logo.
Okay. And I just head back out onto the bridge, and Commander Mzaka, we're getting some help, but for now it's just us. So be prepared to send the specs out to some other ships that'll come and help us out.
Understood, sir.
To Narendra Station, because the Admiral will pass
to Narendra. Sure. To that one place.
Yes, I will send them to Narendra Station, aka
Right.
that one place.
Great.
All right, so you start to basically pump these things out. You do the core, like the main, say 60. I'm gonna say the main 256 of these things, which are the core elements, and then everything else will go around them as more are produced. Just to speed things up as we're getting close to time. The planet, they're starting on they're building their starships. Their progress is being made on there. They do contact you for some assistance here and there, just to help speed things along, increase the manufacturing, just making sure things are keeping going smoothly whenever they run into some slight snag or anything. They contact you for that, and
Mizaka happily does it.
they and so everything seems to be going really well. You've got the destination. As the other ships come in, they also deploy their stuff, and what was like 3 weeks down to now a week with the three of you doing that, and the times, even though a lot of the ship isn't doing everything but engineering isn't doing much, the time you do have options. They do grant you rest R&R time. You can visit the planet, do sightseeing, whatever, indulge in whatever culture stuff you want to do, and the time just seems to fly away as the last probe sits in place. As you look, you let's do one final scan of the planet and of the sun, and let's just confirm that everything is going well. I will use a momentum and just roll that. And yes, actually I should roll another one, but that's the difficulty. Yeah, everything's going well. The star has returned to the default 10-year period. They're able to see that in their own readings as well, and they were rather surprised that they're able to receive such an extended time frame from that. They didn't think, they most thought you were maybe doubling or tripling the time, but this is like granting them far more time than they ever thought was possible. So they're and the funny thing is that now that it's back to normal, that you don't have any death flares going off, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. And the planet goes on and eventually is able to, with the assistance of the Admiral and later on, I won't go into that. I won't go into the future, but things are looking up and positive in the planet for the first time in ages, that things are moving in a positive direction. So, congratulations, you've saved the
we
species.
did it.
Yay!
He saved us.
Thanks to very convenient warp dimension. We did it.
Great timing.
So like there was a very possibility that the warp core wasn't, that the whole thing was just going to explode. So
that would have been awkward because I would have had to let them die probably.
Yeah, not cool. Not cool, man.
yeah. So anyway, that's where we're gonna have to leave it for today. Our time's up for this episode of Valkyrie Flight. See you next time.